The search for mechanisms to harness the potential of Nigerians in diaspora has progressed from various fronts. The reason being that the diaspora of any nation has been identified as a critical and strategic partner in the national development process with successful historical antecedents in several parts of the world. This episode of the program will serve you instructive sound bites elicited from remarks and interviews at a diaspora-targeted event in Abuja, organized by the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DCTA, an agency of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
They have high skills experts in different fields of medicine, engineering, what have you.
A Nigerian entrepreneur investor who attended the DCTA program, an ex-diasporan based in the United States, shares his perspective on the diaspora engagement. Our diasporan of the week is the quintessential aviator, a Nigerian diaspora, Dr. Bernard Aliyu, President, International Civil Aviation Organization, ICAO. This is the outlook on this edition of the Diaspora. What an offering. My name is Ogechi Paul. Welcome on board. The Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DCTA, under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in keeping with its mandate, organized a diaspora panel discussion in Abuja with the theme setting the agenda for diaspora engagements in 2017. Take a listen to these sound bites in the context of the search for an integrated framework to harness the potential of Nigerians in the diaspora.
Because of the important role of the diaspora, and as the agency and as the lead agency in charge of diaspora matters in Nigeria, the Office of the Secretary to the Government of Federation is always willing to be part of any event that is geared toward promoting the agenda of diaspora in the country.
My last post was in Kuwait, and I know the contribution being made by diaspora in Kuwait to Nigerian economy. So if you are to take that as a benchmark and multiply the number of countries we have and the number of diasporans we have, you can easily come to the conclusion that is immeasurable.
That how can we also replicate similar thing in Nigeria and the rest of the world or rest of African continent? Because without engaging these diasporans, without bringing them, because they have high skills experts in different fields of medicine, engineering, what have you? Because they are contributing to other nations. Why not back home? We have the maxim that it's only Africans that will genuinely, sustainably develop Africa. The white man can just come and partner with you. But for sustainable development of the continent of Africa, it's only Africans that can develop Africa genuinely.
Mr. Bisi Alagbe, an ex-diasporan based in the United States, shares his perspective. Mr. Alagbe is an entrepreneur investor. It's good to have you on the Diaspora, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I call you Paul?
Yes, Paul, you're right.
Thank you, Paul.
Sorry, sir, you recollect that in one of those high caliber government activities, I met you there and I said you will come share experiences after I had some personal discussions with you. Now, high caliber government activities with a common denominator, the Nigerian diaspora. Do you think it is well deserved those attentions are given to the diaspora in the first place? Do you think so?
100%, I believe it is well deserved. Nigeria has a vast reservoir of people in the diaspora.
Yes.
Men, women of all tribes, ethnic background, states. We need to tap into that.
You were one of them.
I was one of them.
You spent, will I say, a good part of your life outside this place, California to be precise.
Absolutely, about half of my life so far. Actually.
I see. And now you are in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Also battling to get on board. Would I say you're trying to get on board or you're already settled?
As we say in Nigeria, I'm on ground, but it's work in progress.
Interesting. So it means that Mr. B.C. Alabe has tested the two worlds. You've been there, you've been here.
Absolutely.
Is it possible to share a bit of your experiences?
Oh yeah, I mean, we are talking of two. I mean, I was in the U.S. I was in California, as you know. They are two worlds, two different worlds, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
As you know, the U.S. is arguably one of the most developed countries in the world. Nigeria is arguably one of the developing countries of the world.
Okay.
We will get there. I'm very optimistic about it. We will be there. It's going to take time. We have to work at it. So it's work in progress.
Yeah, but the federal government is engaging the diasporans and asking them to come home to support the government, to collaborate with the government. And you have heeded that call. You are now in Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
So what is it like? How is it playing out?
Very challenging, I must say, like a lot of other good things.
Okay.
It is challenging. You have to resolve to want to be here. This is home. And blood is thicker than water, no matter how you look at it. It's going to be rough, especially in the beginning. It's you hang in there, you do the right things, you make the right calls to your old friends, whoever they are, if they would take your calls. And you do what you believe in. You try and gather the right people around you in Nigeria, because nobody can do it alone. There's no doubt about it. You get the right people around you. You belong to the right associations. You learn. You grow. You get things done. The core for me, though, is you have to have a bias for action.
Okay.
We as they say, talk is cheap. We all talk. It's nice. I mean, it's easy
Yes.
to talk big and talk good and all that. But what makes the difference between achievers and non-achievers is action. So we have to have a bias for action. You have to get things done. You will fall, you will get up, you will move again, you fall again, you get up, you learn a few things in the process, you proceed. You never say no.
Well, you chose to go through this rough terrain for the love of country.
Absolutely.
Was it better when you were there in the first place?
Believe me, up till now, I have a lot of friends that think I'm crazy. They ask me, what are you doing there? I run businesses. I'm fundamentally, originally a pharmacist. I don't practice pharmacy anymore, but I did for 29 years. Started in Nigeria, then went to the US, did all that. And in the process, owned a few pharmacies. I managed and established a few for some big corporations, multinational corporations, and studied business also. And, at some point, I sold the business, made a decision to come back to Nigeria. And having been here, we own a school here in Abuja, nursery, primary, and secondary school. It's an American-based curriculum, basically. It's being run by one of the best educators I know, who just happens to be my wife also. She has a PhD in education.
That's
about 20 years experience. She runs the show there.
Okay.
My role is behind the scene. I manage the business, so to speak, the business end. But she runs education, because that's all she does.
I see.
Besides that, I am an investor, fundamentally. I do real estate development and,
Have you already made some marks in the country?
Yes, sir. We built a couple of buildings here. We do property management, facilities management.
Do you do this all alone, or you have Nigerians?
Oh, no, I have teams. I have combined about a team of at least 50 Nigerians that are doing this with me. And most of them are employees. Some of them are, consulting partners that I bounce ideas off when I'm thinking of doing something.
Yes.
I have a reservoir of even friends that have experience in business who I call from time to time to, bounce ideas off them.
Yes.
The bottom line is you get things done. I mean, if you don't worry who gets the credit,
Yes.
there is a lot we can do together.
When you hear about diasporans in other countries who have benefited from them, you would consider it as maybe one of those low-hanging fruits waiting to be plucked. Other countries, Rwanda, China, India, you see them, there are stories about the diaspora assisting their countries.
Our circumstance as a country is not different from many other countries. You rightly mentioned, Paul, China has done it. India has done it. Rwanda, our neighbor here in Africa, has done it. The truth is, we don't have a unique problem, in my opinion. There are blueprints. People have done what we are doing before. You know, it's not rocket science.
It's not. It shouldn't be.
Now, we have a whole reservoir of potential outside Nigeria, all over the world, not only in the US, in the UK, Eastern Europe, everywhere mentioned it, South Africa.
Yes.
Everywhere you have Nigerians. We are very populous people. We are all over the place, doing great things, fantastic things, smart human beings. A lot of the environments where we live outside this country is very nurturing of progress, very enabling environments. I think what Nigeria as a country needs to do is make a conscious effort to recruit, to bring a lot of diaspora Nigerians into Nigeria. It is an addition to the potential we have here. It's not in competition.
Well, you don't think the government is already doing that?
To some extent, I think the government is doing it. Okay. I will make a few suggestions that I think the government needs to do more of it.
That is what we want to hear from you now. Maybe that's the way.
As you know, the forum where we were a few days ago,
yes,
a lot of people bounced a lot of ideas around.
They did.
Most of it, very constructive thinking, which, is admirable.
Yes.
Part of the conclusions, part of what, we came up with is that the government agency that hosted this forum,
yes,
they are working on a diaspora database, which is work in progress, of course, because it's not big enough. We have several Nigerians all over the world. I encourage them to expand this database to capture every Nigerian they can lay their hands on.
Okay.
They should liaise with the embassies, Nigerian embassies around the world, to get a whole database, because these people have to be put on some kind of database where there can be constant communication between stakeholders in Nigeria and Nigerians in the diaspora. Especially in this electronic age. All you need is their email addresses and things like that, Facebook groups and stuff like that, and we disseminate ideas.
How about our embassies? Are they not, can't they stand between these?
Yes. Our embassies are representing, the ambassador outside this country is representing our president.
Yes.
And the staff are representing Foreign Affairs Ministry. And to me, this is their job. But again, I'm not a government guy. I've never worked for government in my life, except during NYSC and internship.
Yes.
When it was compulsory for me to work for government. So I don't speak government language. I'm a private person. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a private guy. I don't understand how it works within government.
Okay.
But I believe the role of our embassies should also be to liaise with diaspora Nigerians in this great project of ours called Nigeria. That's one. Developing the database is only one of the ideas.
Yes.
Diaspora voting. I know it's a very political issue. I don't do a lot of the politics. However, I think if we empower diaspora Nigerians to have a stake in Nigeria through voting, they will feel involved. They will participate more to see that Nigeria succeeds. It's a buy-in. It gives them a buy-in into this system. So I think the National Assembly and the executive arm of our government should look seriously into enabling diaspora Nigerians to vote, to be able to vote electronically. I don't see anything wrong with it. There's nothing for them to fear. The more the merrier. I believe it will improve the quality of our leadership. I honestly believe so.
My producers are asking me to wind up. Well, Mr. Bisi Alaba, it's been fun talking with you. Maybe I'll
Absolutely.
just ask you to give us your final comments.
In conclusion, I mean, I will, in addition to the two things I recommended, diaspora database, diaspora voting, I think targeted recruitment we should do as a country.
Okay, identify certain
It's called
persons.
headhunting. If you know a Nigerian somewhere in the world who's doing wonderful things, our government should go after them, talk to them, enhance a process or create, incentivize them to come to this country and help Nigeria.
I think that's where we'll wrap it up
Absolutely.
on this program. Thank you, Mr. Bisi Alaba,
Thank you,
for
sir.
coming on the Diaspora.
Thanks for the
It's good
opportunity.
having
I
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
If you are just tuning in, it is the Diaspora, our news magazine on the NTA.
Information and news updates. Visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
He is the first Nigerian and indeed African to become President International Civil Aviation Organization ICAO in 2013 and re-elected by representatives of the 191 member states of the Specialized Agency of the United Nations for a second term beginning in 1st January 2017. Give it up for Dr. Olumuyiwa Bernard Aliyu, our Diasporan of the Week.
Well, I feel honored to be elected by the council for another 3 years. And I look forward to the work we're going to do with a lot of vigor and hope. It will give us the opportunity to continue what we've been doing to consolidate some of the progress we have made in the past 3 years and to address the dynamic challenges of the industry. There are a number of issues that came up. The MH370 incident, the MH17 incident, the Ebola virus, the Zika virus. What we were able to demonstrate is that ICAO can be very responsive to these issues, to address them, and I'm very pleased at the collaboration that I had with the ICAO Council and the global aviation community to address some of those events. The industry is very united. I think the council has done very well in the circumstances that we have worked. With respect to most of these strategic objectives, one of the key things we focused on is to ensure that no country is left behind. That is a strategy that was introduced under my leadership, and it addresses these challenges of safety, security, as you mentioned, all those challenges, all the strategic objectives. I can tell you that the accident rate in the world has dropped, and it continues to drop. Even if you look at Africa, which used to have very high accident rate, by 2015 we had no fatalities, no fatal accidents. There were some accidents, few of them, about 6 of them, but they were not fatal. This is the result of the work we did, we were doing with our member states in Africa, with the industry, to address the aviation safety challenges, to enhance aviation safety oversight under the No Country Left Behind initiative. With respect to aviation security, significant improvement has been made. Yes, we had a few incidents. We've taken rigorous steps to prevent such incidents occurring in the future. In the area of air navigation efficiency, many of our states now are now working on all of these issues. There are expansion projects being done at the airports for the air traffic management as well, because we anticipate that in the next 15 years, aviation traffic will double. Right now, we have 3 billion passengers, thereabout, a little bit more than 3 billion passengers traveling every year. It will increase to about 6 billion. We have 30 million flights annually. It will increase to 60 million. The import of that is that we need to double our capacity. We need to ensure that we enhance our efficiency so that there are no traffic delays. We reduce congestions. That is what that strategic objective is aimed at. So a lot of work is being done in this. We have developed global air navigation plan that are being implemented regionally and at the national level. For 2017 to 2019, the same strategic objectives. But of course, this is a dynamic industry and there will be dynamic challenges. We have to be ready to address all those. But like I mentioned, under the No Country Left Behind, the next iteration in the next 3 years will bring a lot of focus on aviation infrastructure development to assist our member states, whether it's for the airports or for the air navigation services, capacity building to enhance the regulatory oversight capacity in the states, to provide them more training, because new technological systems are going to be installed. I also have indicated to the Council we have to fast-track the development of a global plan on aviation security. Recently, the UN Security Council adopted a resolution to support ICAO in its efforts to address aviation security. So aviation security has become part of global security. And at the national level in every country, aviation security now must be seen as an integral part of national security and addressed as such, because the security of every nation starts right there from the airport. So we want to work with our member states to address aviation security.
The list is endless of Nigerians making waves and adding values to global economies. Is this not tantamount to another soft landing for a national carrier in the skies? Well, that's a bit for this edition. And on behalf of the production crew, thanks for watching.